ambassador of the Netherlands, is also online. But most importantly, all the students, faculty, and people present here today to join us in committing to change on World Environment Day. Thank you for doing this. Thank you, Bergen University. You saw the audio visual without the audio right now. And what it was saying is, I'm going to be very brief and to the point. What it was saying is, we have to move past the slogans, the bumper stickers, and the pledges and the promises. Now, the first thing we all know about plastics is that it is a pollutant. Plastic waste is a huge amount in Pakistan, generated in 3.3 million metric tons in Pakistan every year. Let's just talk about Pakistan. We do know global statistics. And the video was trying to tell you that we generate 2 mountains worth of, 2 K2 mountains worth of plastic waste every year. Now that's a huge amount. It's inordinately large. And I also want to tell you that this whole business of convincing us that every piece of PET or recyclable or biodegradable plastic is actually recycled is not true. It is not true in the world, and it is not true here. You don't have to do extensive research to figure it out. It takes 2 days of reading to understand and look at the numbers and see that the whole recycling business is actually successful in very few economies with small populations, with extensive sorting and collection facilities. So yes, recycling is good, but the whole point is that our economies actually reuse most things. We are an economy that fixes things and reuses them. That is how it is at the grassroots level. That is how it is in big cities, especially like Karachi, where waste is constantly, imaginatively reused, simply because there are few other economic options. So people tend to do that. Now, before we get into any technicalia or other commitments, let's just talk about the here and now. The director said we should go beyond slogans. Absolutely correct. On your tables are plastic bottles. They should not be here. I stopped them the day I came to the Ministry of Climate Change, which is over a year ago. And today we will be stopping it in PM House and offices. We will also be reducing slowly in all of federal government and its divisions, because I believe you have to start at the top. Somebody said it's a grassroots thing. I'm sure it's a grassroots thing. We know it's a grassroots thing. Everything has to begin there. But if you don't lead by example, especially the privileged, then you're going to have to, then you're sending out a very mixed signal. I was speaking at the Serena just 4 or 5 days ago, and I said, please don't invite me to conferences where you're openly saying one thing and doing another. So it should not just mean presentations that have no meaning in our lives. Now, all habit change involves a fair amount of sacrifice, a little bit of pain, and it becomes then a new habit, like all new habits. And for those of you, most young people here, who have not seen anything but plastic bottles, there was not many decades ago, the whole of Pakistan was using glass and boiling their water and filtering it, right? I mean, this may seem like an expensive option, but it's not really, because it's reusable and reusable and reusable. I've had this for a year now, same bottle. It goes with me everywhere. The same jug gets reused in the home. So it's probably more economically feasible if you feel like buying bottles, which sometimes you have to in travel, and for various experiences. Then there are now local bottling companies we have encouraged. They are making glass bottles like they used to long ago. So we as humanity have gone on to bad habits without exploring what they're doing to us. As you have heard, I'm sure, and will hear during the course of the day, many plastics never leave the system. I was in Paris just 4 or 5 days ago for the great plastic ban treaty that the world has begun negotiating. I said all this to them. I said this recycle business is important, is good, please do it, but please don't tell us that it is a substitute for reusing or reducing, because obviously big industry is involved everywhere. And if the world is only recycling 9%, the entire world, and that's their stated figure, please imagine what is the actual situation. Why is 9% only being recycled with so much investment in recycling in all the Western economies? So please don't tell me next time I come here that this is a PET bottle and it is okay to keep. It is not okay. When was follow its journey for recycling, I challenge you. Who's collecting it? Because recycling means collecting, sorting, processing. Who's doing that? Where is it happening? Are your bins recycling? Are your bins ready for sorting? No. Does anybody in this room know where this plastic waste is going? When it says it's biodegradable, who's degrading it? No one. It's just being thrown away. It's considered dispensable waste. So when you do that, you ensure that somewhere along the line you are also going to be ingesting this microplastic that comes out of it. Because that's what's going on. That is already happening. There's going to be more microplastics and plastics in the ocean by 2050 than all marine life. And it takes typically 100 years, if that, for many plastics to degrade. Otherwise, they go from landfills into a water body such as our oceans, and they just remain there. Is that not a scary thought? One country can send 2 mountains into the ocean and it just remains empty. No humans rarely live through a 100-year cycle. So they live longer than us, and they are now being ingested by the fish. I mean, I'm from Karachi. We're ingesting it on our dinner plates. There is one circular economy being fed into our lives, and it's important to have, and there's this circular economy. This is the toxic circular economy, which is the real one. And that's the dark side of plastics and its entire life cycle of persisting in our ecosystem, in our water, on our land, and degrading both our health system and the soil we try to cultivate and the water that we depend on. So I won't give you the prepared speech. I think it's important to understand that we are all agents of change, that no one is going to bring us a better solution. People keep saying, oh, give this, give that. No. You want to be an engaged, active democracy or not, either way, you have to be the agent of change. You are going to find the alternative within your household, your community, your office, your school, your university, and you are going to be that change. No one is coming to do this for you. That is the whole ethos behind environmental damage. Governments have not polluted the world. It is big business that has done it, and small business that has done it, and the agriculture sector. I'm sorry. Governments have very small roles. They are regulators, and that's their most minimal and even maximum role. But you cannot, people will tell me, oh, you banned polythene bags. Today I've got cabinet, worked all night to get cabinet to approve the journey. It has to begin as a journey because for 1 year I've been grappling with how to reduce plastics. It's not easy. I don't want to give consumers and families a hard time that is just not available and we'll arrest you. Now you can't police behavior change. This is for all of us to do. If when you're using the polythene bag, please think again. It's a little bit painful, but other economies are doing it now. Taking the bag is just a habit like the bottle. Go back to old habits. आपकी मासियाँ, नानियाँ, दादियाँ यही करती थी. Go back to that, and you will go forward. That is the organic life cycle that we are seeking. It is not so difficult. So while today we will be also introducing timelines on single-use plastic polythene bags. So this will not be limited to carrier bags and flat bags, and these regulations will be announced. It has gone through cabinet. This will even involve plastic drinking straws. So when you're going to a vendor and they're giving you a plastic drinking straw, don't be cattle and sheep. Get up. You're a human being. अशरफ हैं आप मखलूक में. खड़े होके कहें ये गलत है. ये ICT में खत्म हो गया है August 1 से और हम टाइम भी दे रहे हैं. It's not some. I was going to कल से. मैंने कहा कल से नहीं होगा. Manufacturers, retailers, outlets को time दें to phase these out. And we were in long discussions with all of these out. So August 1st is that deadline. It can happen from tomorrow. From you, it can happen from today. कि जी ये खत्म करना है, हम नहीं आएंगे आपकी दुकान पे या नहीं लेंगे इस करियाना से. All of that. So we've even given them 2 years to find the options. So it's not easy. Single-use plastic crockery, including plates, bowls, cups, from 1st August. Very tough. It's got to happen. And we picked the easiest and lowest hanging fruit that other countries are also doing. The entire region is also doing this. So we're not alone, but we can't be left behind. Nobody wants to have this conversation. I'm forcing it through. I want you to do this with me. I want to see you again when I'm not minister also and be able to do this with you. And say, let's make a group. So I have asked in my parliamentary secretary, should have been here. आप लोग जरा ये करेंगे. I want you to imagine you make a youth cohort. I mean, 6 of you, 8 of you volunteer. This is a privileged university. Make me a youth cohort or student cohort. You can be post-student cohort of 10 students or whatever, however many you like. I'll take you along on this journey. This is not about my job or your studies. This is about our commitments in life, right? I will even have more time than to take you on this journey. So commit to that. Create every day or opportunity. Use every entry point as an opportunity to change your life and for those around you for the better. That's how leaders are made. Not by asking to be spoon-fed with a plastic spoon that's been banned to change your life. You'll have to make a new spoon. Now they're going to be given them time. So plates, bowls, cups, glasses, these are the most inimical. It will also involve forks, knives, spoons, chopsticks, the lidded containers, the box, the cups, the plates, the bowls, and all stirrers. You all go to coffee shops with stirrers. They should not be of plastic. Not only are these not biodegradable, they sit there creating that tonnage of waste forever. They are toxic. One day you'll see a study. Mark my words. Remember me then. Even now, these plastic bottles, there are many women in the audience. If the water heats up in that plastic bottle, it gives you, it leaves you open to breast cancer. Did you know that? Did you know that? Do not drink warm water or sunlit water. And we only know about breast cancer yet. There may be other toxins, there may be other cancers that it brings. The, the tip of the iceberg on scientific research on plastic toxicity is very, very unfortunate, but that's just the tip. So especially when it gets warm, don't touch it. Don't touch it, it's harmful. By then the toxins in the plastic have mixed with the water. These are internationally known facts, but they're not confirmed. Why do you want to take the risk? I don't know this, but I will not touch it. And I will not like my family or people I'm speaking to from my country or anywhere to do that. But they're not spreading that. They say ये उसमें वो नहीं है, composition नहीं है, resin नहीं है. It's not good for the environment. It's not good for you. Let it go. It's a bad habit that, I don't know, 60 people in the room, if 60 people decide to change and ask 60 more people or 10 more people to change, we've got a little revolution on our hands for the right reasons. So let's look at it that way. I can tell you that there's recycled plastic. These bottles, we've told the manufacturers, आप लोग correction शुरू करें. We've been in discussions with them. We don't want disinvestment from the country. We don't want Nestle, Coca-Cola, all of that to go. We want them to stay. They provide a lot of jobs. They bring in investment. But like other countries, they have the money and the power to do the correction. And you can't do everyday recycling, but big corporations can. Those who can should start the correction. Because without that, it's not happening. If no one is telling you to return that bottle for collection, it is not being recycled. And when you're buying it, ask where it's being collected. Because when I asked for statistics, when they came to sell me all of the stuff in the room that we're doing this way, I said, show me what you're producing first. कि हम इतना collect कर रहे हैं. तो I said, इतना collect कर रहे हैं recycling के लिए पहले दिखाएं manufacture कितना कर रहे हैं. Everybody disappeared. Then I had to put it on Twitter. I said, do I need to subpoena you for the information? When I came on Twitter, my ministry got the information. So now they're in a better relationship. It's called extended producer responsibility. So that's one of the R's. So the manufacturers are also responsible. They can switch to glass bottles. We grew up drinking Coca-Cola from glass bottles and we have to return them. In fact, you got a refund also for returning the bottle from the store. So there are many solutions. It's a question of how much responsibility we want to take. I'm sure everybody will spend the day showing you the horrors of plastic pollution because that's the theme this year and I'm very happy it is because that was my first priority when I came here and it's the most difficult thing because, and I tell the West, the researchers there, that you have not provided low cost and lightweight options to this. Big economies, big populations with low income will find it very hard to make the shift. They can't recycle, it's difficult for collection and sorting. You should see the scavenger cycles in Karachi and Lahore, big landfills. Very difficult. So you need to look at waste management from another perspective. Consumer has to find an alternative. Right now I'm advocating glass and old alternatives for you. But when we encounter any source of research, we should be looking for low cost, make a patent. Which one of you is a scientist? There's no need for it to come from the West. Some of the best tech solutions are coming from Pakistan, India and Bangladesh. And so the solution can also come from us. Low cost, not toxic, and totally biodegradable. That's the future. None of this other nonsense. So, nobody likes to hear it, but they all agreed. They were all quiet in Paris because rivayati batein huyi hum itna recycle kar rahe hain. I said this is all rubbish. The world is recycling only 9%, you've seen it. And the plastic waste, not just in Pakistan, but in the world, is growing exponentially. Like emissions, like carbon emissions, plastic is also growing. So I said, well, I will sign up to the treaties, but it should be enforceable. It should be enforceable on a timeline to all the countries that sign up. If it's not, then it's meaningless. We all make commitments, walk away, and the pile of rubbish that is going to choke us is growing. The greenhouse gases are expanding. We are getting warmer. We are not even contributing to those greenhouse gases. We are less than 1%. Our manufacturing base is that low, whatever. So we are the recipients of severe climate injustice. But you have to start looking for solutions at home, including pollution of your cities. That is not the same as greenhouse gas emissions only. That is other local pollutants. And that's inimical to health. It is very sad that Lahore, every summer, every winter I hear that children can't go to school. Senior citizens are exposed to very toxic air, very poor quality. Same is happening in Karachi, and now Lahore and Karachi are ranked along with Delhi. What a gold star, what a list to be on as the top 3-4 most polluted cities in the world. That's because we're not reducing our local pollution, and we've asked for unglamorous solutions with the industries ministry. They are looking at it. You just tune your car, you reduce half the pollution that comes out of it. If you don't have access to an electric vehicle, it's fun to make policies like that. It looks good on paper, but sometimes there are simpler solutions at home. Tune your car, you reduce half. Tune the rickshaw in front of you. And if you see noxious gases coming out, I always take pictures. I take the pictures and I send them to whoever, or I post it. This cement plant is doing this. This is against all local and national rules. This vehicle is emitting this is the number. Stop being sheep about it. You are all responsible, it's your future, and it's not just the future, it's happening now. This decade is dangerous for climate change. If it continues unchecked, we will feel the burn. Our oceans are already heating up, they're acidifying because of also the plastics pollution and various things. And it will now become very difficult to manage, and then we'll ask the questions when it's too late. There are long-term solutions, mid-term ones and short-term ones. Start taking stock of them and start taking action, because we will soon be water scarce also. So stop with the long car washes and the long showers. So with these words, I'm going to not bore you anymore or prick your conscience. I spoke what I felt was necessary, and I believe it's time, even if I've changed 6 people's minds, I think it was worth the time. Thank you very much.